Food Fight, a student competition, is presented by the Oklahoma Natural Gas Energy Efficiency Program.
I'm cooking like a boss on my new gas range. With a turn of the knob, I'm controlling the flame. Energy efficiency is changing the game. One bite of my boys like,
Dad, it's insane.
R-E-V to the A-Z-E. Got a rebate check that's coming to me. I said R-E-V to the A-Z-E. Getting paid when I'm saving that energy. Let's go.
Coming up next, we've got Food Fight, where Pryor and Claremore Sequoyah are cooking it up again in the kitchen to see who can win a chance at scholarship money. Hey everyone, this is Food Fight, a high-stakes cooking competition for high school students winning scholarship money. I'm your host, Anna Berry, and today we are here at the One Gas Education and Training Center, where we have Claremore Sequoyah up against Pryor. Today's competition is a rematch, so the teams are going to cook in the kitchen that they didn't get to last time. Right here at the One Gas Education and Training Center, we have a commercial kitchen and then we have a residential kitchen. So Pryor will be in the commercial and Claremore Sequoyah in the residential. But before we meet our students, let's meet our judges. So we have Judy Allen, a local food writer, and I'm sure you know Edible Tulsa. I so miss that magazine, but there's more in the future. Tell us a little bit about your food writing history, Judy.
I've been a food writer for over 20 years here in town for lots of local publications, and I just love featuring our local talent, producers, growers, like anybody involved with food.
Right. Well, we're so glad that you're a judge here on our Food Fight competition. So tell us, what are you going to bring to the table when it comes to being a judge?
Well, I guess I have a little different outlook because I'm not a restaurant chef or a restaurant owner. So I'm just looking for creativity for how they follow recipes, how they work together in the kitchen, and how it all comes together. Like if they're tasting as they go, practicing good knife skills, things like that.
All right, our next judge is Chef Taylor Latouche. Now, I've had some of your food. It's delicious. But to our audience, tell us a little bit about yourself and where we can find your food.
So my background is tropical, but I am a classic culinary trained chef. I went to a local college here at Platt, so I specialize in anything that is full flavor and refined presentation.
Now, when you say tropical, is this Caribbean influence?
Yes, Creole is a broad diaspora of flavor. And so Jamaica, Louisiana, Haiti, that's all in my wheelhouse of indigenous flavor.
So I would say a little on the spicy side.
It can be. And fruity, tropical fruits, coconut milk, those are my favorite ingredients.
All right, let's meet our last judge. We have Callie Farish, a local food consultant. So what does that mean, Callie?
A little bit of everything. So I work a lot with the USDA and CDC, with schools and meal patterns, and then I also do commercial kitchen design, and I work with local school associations on a national level and on a state level, just to kind of support chefs and food service here in Oklahoma.
Wonderful. Now, earlier we were talking a little bit about the importance of fruits and vegetables, and you're
Yes.
a big cheerleader for that, right?
I am. One of my main goals when working with schools in the USDA and CDC is the consumption of fresh fruits and vegetables. So local farmers, different cooking methods, incorporating flavor without salt, that sort of thing is just right up my alley.
Today's recipe lineup calls for pork chops with balsamic Dijon glaze as the main course. And the side dishes include sauteed green beans and a hearty helping of smashed garlicky red potatoes. And for dessert, the Start with Store-Bought Dessert Creativity Challenge will give students shortcake shells and a lot of other delicious sweet ingredients, leaving the final result up to their abilities and their imaginations. Now that we know what's being made, let's meet the students who are making it. All right, let's meet our team from Pryor. What's your name and what grade are you in?
Michael Bruner, I'm a sophomore.
Madison Thomas, sophomore.
Joey Campbell, and I'm a senior.
All right, excited today? Yes. Ready to go? All right, let's meet our team from Claremore Sequoyah. What's your name and what grade are you in?
Jacob Newman, sophomore.
Jaden Harrington, sophomore.
Daniel Roselle, freshman.
Okay, you guys ready? Excited? Yes, ma'am. All right, let's get cooking. So earlier, each team, they were given all the ingredients to make their main dish and their dessert. So we're about to start the clock. We've got 60 minutes. Pryor, you ready?
Yes.
Claremore Sequoyah, what about you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's get this cooking competition. Let it begin. 60 minutes, let's go. So when it comes to watching these kids cook off in the kitchen, what are you looking for as a chef?
Mainly communication, how they work together, what their immediate movements are. Technique is everything, and then also how quickly they move. Timeliness is very important in these competitions. Mm-hmm. Communication in the kitchen is essential for safety. One, you always want to communicate what your movements are. You have a knife in your hand. This is hot. I'm behind you. There's food on this counter to prevent slips and falls. I mean, those type of things help food execute properly as well as keep you safe.
So tell us a little bit about your palate. Do you like sweet, salty, savory?
Oh, I'm a salty girl for sure.
Right?
Yes.
Me too. So when it comes to the teamwork, right, I see you're going to be walking around looking how they interact, how they're working together. What are you looking for specifically?
Well, I think like a restaurant kitchen is definitely teamwork is important, how you're communicating who's doing what job and who's on what piece of equipment, and you don't want to burn yourself or cut yourself. Just safety is important. So
when it comes to watching these kids in
Yes.
the kitchen, what are you looking for?
I mean, flavor is everything. So I'm looking at, are they seasoning? Are they tasting? What is their kind of method as far as their cooking? Are they really paying attention to cook times, making sure that there's a nice sear on their meats? And then also communication and cleanliness is absolutely key. So,
Right.
yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your palate. Are you sweet, salty, savory?
Oh, definitely salty, savory.
Right.
Absolutely, all the way.
All right, let's speak with our coaches. We're here with Ashley, the coach for the Claremore Sequoyah team. So let's talk about the guys. Tell me a little bit about them, personality traits, some of the challenges they might be overcoming today.
So these guys are not culinary arts students. They're Facts Basics 1 students, which means that they're in class with me just about 45 minutes a day. And we also have other stuff to cover than just the cooking stuff. These boys have so much personality. They have the most boisterous little attitudes that you can imagine on a team of boys. That they're great, honestly. They begged me the second I told them this was an option to make them stars.
That's so great. They want to be doing this.
They do so much.
But what about some of the challenges they might be facing? What do you think?
So timing, I think, is going to be an issue. They're either going to go too fast or too slow because, like I said, they have 45 minutes in class with me. So their timing could be an issue. They have made pork chops once. So here goes nothing.
Look into the camera and give them some advice to encourage them.
Do not burn it.
minutes left. Okay, our next coach is Tammy with Pryor. So tell us a little bit about the Pryor team, Tammy.
Well, they've been cooking for a while. They're learning some different skills in their culinary class, and they are super excited to be here. And they're ready to win some scholarship money today.
Right. Now, did you talk to them because they were here before? Did you get a little feedback of what they experienced last time and what they're going to do differently this time?
I did, and I think this time they are going to be more aware of kind of how the things work and the process of going about it. They're not as anxious this time. I'm really anxious this time for them, but and they're really good working together. They do really good at teamwork.
Okay, so look into the camera
Okay.
and give them some advice and some encouragement. Go.
Work together, do the best you can, and bring home that scholarship money.
Awesome. What got you into cooking?
My dad. His passion for cooking, and I think his stems from my grandpa. So
What do they like to cook?
the very meat and potatoes kind of family, but my dad kind of takes it a step further and cares about what's actually in it. So my dad's favorite thing to make is what he calls a gym burger. It's basically a meatloaf burger, and it's really good. Yeah.
How do you see these culinary skills extending into your adult life?
Definitely so I can eat cleaner, because nowadays it's all about convenience, and I want to eat better for me so I can stay healthy.
And what's your culinary background?
I started cooking with my grandparents and my parents, and I just want to keep that going generations.
How do you see yourself using these skills when you become an adult?
I really want to open my own restaurant and have that just to make other people smile with the food that I create.
I started cooking with my grandma when I was younger, mostly just putting in the ingredients after she measured them, and that really started my passion for cooking.
And what do you like to cook today on your own?
I love cooking pasta because it's one of my favorite foods and it's so easy and simple.
And what do you want to do with your culinary skills as you grow up?
I think I want to kind of keep it on the back burner, pun intended, and use it when I need to, make some really good dinner, but maybe focus on something outside of culinary as my career.
And how did you start your culinary career?
I joined Miss Other's class this year.
And what do you think about the class?
I really love it.
What do you love about it?
She's a really great teacher. She's really good with her students. And I love doing the sewing and the culinary throughout it. And I think with my team, we all did really good during the culinary. And I'm glad we all became friends this year.
Wonderful. And how do you see this extending into your adult life?
Maybe go to the Northeast Tech Center and join the culinary program there at the Pryor campus. And if all goes well, maybe turn to a chef.
And tell me a little bit about the FACS class. What do you get out of it?
It's a lot of fun. I get my basic life skills that I might need, like cooking. Everybody's got to cook at least sometime. So I get a lot of that out of it. A lot of good times, especially with those guys over there.
Do you like to cook at home?
I do.
What do you like to cook?
One of my favorite dishes to cook is probably chicken. I like to fry chicken, and potatoes. I like to make potatoes.
Great. And how do you see using these culinary and life skills as you become an adult?
Basically, in the future, cooking's a lot less expensive than eating out. So it gives me a lot of the skills that I might need that most people might not know what to do.
Well, we really learn how to cook Sometimes it's like more basic stuff like pancakes and breakfast and all that. And we also learn how to sew, so you can use that later in your life for clothing and all that.
And how do you take those skills that you learn in school and into your everyday life?
Well, you can use the sewing if like you tear your pants, you can sew a patch on it or something, and the cooking is just a good skill to have.
Do you see yourself continuing in the culinary arts?
Yeah, I'd like to go to a culinary class in the future.
15 minutes left. Ooh, that looks great. 15 minutes. Just 10 minutes left, everyone. Just 5 minutes left in this competition. Looking good, but you only have 1 minute left. 1 minute left, teams. Up, put everything down safely, and let's present these dishes to the judges. Okay, how do you think you did today?
I think we did really, really good.
What are you proud of?
I am most proud of the pork chops because that's a dish I've never made before. And I think I did pretty good on those. And I'm proud of everyone for working together and taking on these different dishes.
Talk to me about how did you handle doing something you've never done before, like a pork chop?
I read the recipe thoroughly. I read it back and forth, make sure I was doing everything correctly. We had an extra sample that I could taste and make sure it was cooked thoroughly.
And what challenges did you guys face today in the kitchen?
I think we faced, like all of us, cooking dishes that we've never cooked before. And some challenges would be, like, we worked less together today than we did previously, but that's because we are tackling more dishes at the same time.
Now, you've been on the show before. What did you learn then, and how'd you apply it today?
I learned before to focus on the dishes before we get there. Like, read through the recipes, see what we need. We got a pen and we marked through the ingredients that we need for like the dessert, and I think that really helped with organization.
I think we did really good. I'm really proud of my team. We didn't have to communicate as much because we figured out all of that at the beginning. So we were able to do our things, and then when we were done, we were able to help our other team members. The challenges, I think, was just getting stuff on time again, which we finished early this time because we worked together more efficiently.
Great. So talk about the lesson you learned last time and how you applied it this time.
Just figure out your plan before you get in the kitchen and not during, so you're more time efficient.
I think that we worked very good together, and I think that we all worked pretty efficiently. The challenging part, I would say, was just navigating around the kitchen around each other, because we had a small stovetop, and we had 3 people trying to work on that small stovetop. So I'm not as familiar with the residential kitchen, or with the commercial kitchen, as I am the residential, but I was still pretty familiar with a lot of them because of my previous job.
Tell me about your pork chopping skills. Pork chopping chop.
I left it to Michael because he said that he had it, so.
Okay. Okay, what do you think of the pork chop?
I think that they were done very well.
All right, now it's time for Claremore Sequoyah to present their plates to the judges. Okay, how do you think you did today?
I'm very proud of my team today. We were really on top of stuff, and we kept great communication throughout the competition.
Now, you've done this before, so what did you learn last time and how did you incorporate that this time?
We learned to keep communication, like I said, and just make sure everybody's doing something all the time and stay clean, stay very cleanly.
Now, who did what?
I made the pork chops, and Jaden Harrington made the potatoes and the green beans, and Jacob Newman made the dessert.
So have you made pork chops before?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you kind of knew what to do with the pork.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, great. How do you think it turned out?
I think we did really, really good.
Okay, great. What dish are you most proud of?
I'm very proud of our pork chops.
I feel like we did a lot better than our last time, because this time we actually did everything good and did proper with our timing.
Yeah, how did you manage your timing better and differently this time than last time?
Well, last time we didn't really know what to expect coming into the challenge, so that threw us off a little bit. So we just had one person ask how much time, so we'd check, and then they would watch our dish while we did that.
And which dish did you do?
I did the mashed garlicky potatoes and the sauteed green beans.
And how do you feel about that?
I feel like I did a pretty good job on them.
I think we did pretty good. There were a couple of things here and there that we could work on, but all in all, I think we did a lot better.
Like what? What can you work on better next time?
Maybe kind of our communication. Our communication was really good today, but there's just here and there minor tweaks that we could possibly work on in the future.
Now think back to the last time you were on the show. What challenges did you face and how do you address them differently this time?
Definitely sanitation issues were our 100% most of our problems last time. This time we took a lot of extra precautions to make sure that we were very sanitized.
Great. And what dish are you most proud of?
I'm most proud of the dessert that we made.
How did you handle your dessert? What did you do differently?
I put a lot more thought into the creativity part of it and make sure I memorized the recipe of my dish while I made it.
As the judges taste the meals and added up their final scores, they shared their thoughts about both teams.
I really enjoyed both entrees. The presentation was both very nice. Pryor specifically had a fantastic dessert, very creative with the dotting of the sauce. The whipped cream was textbook and had very good flavor. Sequoyah also very well presented. Their introduction was very personable, the way that he came to the table and introduced us. I could taste the balsamic in the pork chop. Overall, both teams were very professional, very clean at their stations, and did a wonderful job.
I thought Pryor did a really good job of communicating. They asked a lot of questions amongst each other, did a lot of tasting, so I could tell that they were very working together really well as a group to try and get the right product out. Sequoyah had an extremely clean station. It was kept really organized and well over there. I could tell that they were having a really good time, and they communicated really well. I loved the spiciness of their green beans, and then Pryor's, I loved the creaminess and the potatoes, I think maybe they added a little extra cream, which is always a good thing.
I was really impressed with the communication from both teams. You guys did such a great job talking to each other, working well together, not running into each other, not being frazzled, which was really great. The plating on the dessert was so impressive from Pryor. I loved the creativity on that. The whipped cream on Sequoyah was phenomenal. I loved the extra almond extract, and that was really good. So great job, both teams. I was very impressed.
After much deliberation, the judges assigned a point score to both teams, and I was handed the results. Okay, the judges have tallied up their score, and it's right here. And we've got Claremore Sequoyah at 60 and Pryor 63. So that means that Pryor is our winner today. But who goes on to the championship? You got to keep watching RSU TV's Food Fight.
Food Fight, a student competition, is presented by the Oklahoma Natural Gas Energy Efficiency Program.